I'm 73 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might save your life. For 50 years, I treated my body like it was indestructible, like it was a machine I could push harder, feed garbage, deprive of sleep, and it would just keep going. I was wrong, so completely, devastatingly wrong, and now I'm paying for it every single day. You see, something happened to me 3 years ago, something that changed everything. One moment I was the guy who bragged about never taking sick days. The next moment I was lying in a hospital bed, unable to move the left side of my body. Stroke. That word changed my entire life. But here's what really haunts me. It didn't have to happen. Every doctor, every nurse, every specialist who looked at my charts said the same thing. This was preventable. 3 words, preventable. This was preventable. 50 years of ignoring every warning sign. 50 years of pushing through every ache, every pain, every signal my body sent me. 50 years of saying, I'll take care of myself later. Later never came, or rather, it did come, just not the way I imagined. I'm not telling you this for sympathy. I don't want your pity. What I want is for you to listen, really listen, because the things I'm about to share with you took me 5 decades to learn, and I learned them the hard way. You don't have to. You're reading this right now for a reason. Maybe you're exhausted. Maybe you've been ignoring that pain in your chest. Maybe you skipped another doctor's appointment because you're too busy. I was you. And I'm here to tell you where that road leads. It was a Tuesday morning, March 15th, 3 years ago. I remember because it was the Ides of March. Funny how your brain holds on to details like that. I was 70 years old, still working, still pushing. I'd built a successful consulting business over 40 years. Never missed a meeting, never let a client down. That morning I woke up feeling off, not sick exactly, just strange. There was this tingling in my left arm, a slight numbness, nothing dramatic. My wife, Linda, noticed I was rubbing my arm at breakfast. You okay? She asked. Fine, I said, just slept on it wrong. That was the first lie I told that day. I went to work anyway. Of course I did. I had a presentation at 10, important clients, couldn't reschedule, couldn't show weakness. By 9:30, the tingling had spread to my face. The left side felt heavy, droopy almost. I looked in the bathroom mirror at the office. Something was wrong. I could see it. My face wasn't right. The left side was sagging slightly. My smile was uneven. And you know what I did? I splashed water on my face and went to give the presentation anyway. I stood up in front of 12 people. I opened my mouth to speak, and the words wouldn't come out right. They were slurred, jumbled. I could hear myself speaking, and it sounded like someone else, someone drunk. The room started spinning, then nothing. I woke up in a hospital bed. Linda was holding my hand. Her eyes were red. She'd been crying. You had a stroke, she said, a major stroke. I tried to respond, but when I went to move my left hand to touch her face, nothing happened. I looked down at my arm. I told it to move. Nothing. I couldn't feel my left leg either, couldn't wiggle my toes, couldn't lift my knee. The doctor came in an hour later. He was younger than my own children, maybe 40. He looked at my chart, then looked at me. Mr. Harrison, he said, I need to be honest with you. I nodded, or tried to. Your blood pressure has been critically high for years. Your cholesterol levels are dangerous. You're 60 pounds overweight. You have early-stage diabetes that was never treated. And based on the scarring we see, this isn't your first stroke. You've had several mini-strokes before this one. Did you know that? I didn't. Or maybe I did. Maybe all those dizzy spells I ignored. All those headaches I powered through. All those moments of confusion I blamed on stress. Maybe those were warnings I refused to hear. This was preventable, he said. If you had managed these conditions even 5 years ago, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation. Preventable. I lay there in that bed, unable to move half my body, and I thought about all the years, all the decades, all the times I said, I'll deal with it later. This was later, and it was too late. The next 6 months were the hardest of my life. Physical therapy every day, learning to walk again like a toddler, learning to feed myself with a hand that shook constantly, learning to speak clearly when the words got tangled between my brain and my mouth. I'd spent 50 years building a career, building success, building a reputation. And in one morning, I became dependent on others for everything. That's when I finally understood. I had spent my whole life treating my body like an afterthought, like it was just the vehicle that carried my brain to meetings, like I could abuse it endlessly and it would keep performing. But your body keeps score, every skipped meal replaced with coffee, every sleepless night pushing through deadlines, every warning sign ignored, every doctor's appointment canceled. Your body remembers all of it, and eventually it sends you the bill. Let me take you back. Let me show you how I got here. I was 23 when I started my first real job, young, hungry, invincible. At 23, you don't think about your body, you don't think about health, you think about success, you think about proving yourself, you think about winning. So I worked. 14-hour days became normal, weekends disappeared, sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford. I'll rest when I'm successful, I told myself. So I waited. At 30, I got my first promotion. Manager, more responsibility, more pressure, more hours. My back started hurting. Constant pain from hunching over desks, from sitting in chairs for 12 hours straight. I'll see a doctor when things calm down, I told myself. Things never calmed down, so I waited again. At 35, Linda begged me to get a physical. I hadn't seen a doctor in 6 years. I feel fine, I said. I don't need a doctor to tell me I'm healthy. I wasn't fine, but I didn't want to know that, didn't want to face it, because facing it would mean slowing down, and slowing down meant losing. So I ignored it. At 40, I started getting chest pains. Not often, just sometimes. Usually when I was stressed. Usually at 2 in the morning when I was still working. Just heartburn, I told myself, just tension. It wasn't just heartburn, but admitting that would mean admitting weakness, and I couldn't afford to be weak. Not when I was building something, not when people depended on me, so I waited. At 45, I was finally successful. My own company, 6-figure income, nice house, nice cars, nice life. And I was falling apart. My knees hurt constantly. My blood pressure was high. I knew because Linda made me check it once at a pharmacy. I was 50 pounds overweight. I couldn't climb a flight of stairs without getting winded. I'll get healthy when I retire, I told myself. I'll have time then. So I waited again. At 50, I had a scare. Woke up one night with crushing chest pain. Linda wanted to call an ambulance. I refused. It's nothing, I gasped. Just give me a minute. The pain passed, and I convinced myself it was nothing. I know now it was probably a heart attack, a minor one, a warning shot. Did I go to a doctor? No. Did I change anything? No. I went back to work the next day, told no one, acted like nothing happened. Because nothing was more important than the work, than the success, than proving I was strong enough to handle anything. At 55, 60, 65, the pattern continued. More warning signs, more ignored symptoms, more promises to deal with it later. And here's what I told myself the whole time. When I finish this project, then I'll focus on my health. When I hit this revenue goal, then I'll start exercising. When I retire, then I'll finally take care of myself. When I have more time, then I'll see a doctor. When, then, later, someday. Those words were a death sentence written in slow motion. I had the success, I had the money, I had the respect, but I didn't have my health. And without your health, everything else is meaningless. I know that now. I knew it lying in that hospital bed, unable to move my own arm. But I wish I'd known it at 23, at 35, at 50. I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and shaken me. I wish someone had said, "You fool, your body is not a machine. It's your only home, and you're destroying it." Would I have listened? Probably not. But maybe, just maybe, let me tell you about the lies I believed, the lies you probably believe too. Lie number one, I don't have time to be healthy. This is the biggest lie of all, and I believed it for 50 years. I don't have time to exercise. I don't have time to cook healthy meals. I don't have time to sleep 8 hours. I don't have time to see a doctor. Let me tell you something. You know what takes time? Lying in a hospital for 3 months, spending 2 hours a day in physical therapy, having your wife dress you because you can't button your own shirt. That takes time. You think you don't have time now? Wait until your body breaks down. Then you'll find out what no time really means. Every minute you save by skipping exercise, by eating fast food, by ignoring your health, you'll pay back with interest later. Trust me, the interest rate is brutal. Lie number two, I'll rest when I'm older. This one haunts me. I thought retirement would be my reward. Work hard for 40 years, then finally relax, finally travel, finally enjoy life. You know what retirement looks like when you've destroyed your body. It looks like doctor's appointments, physical therapy sessions, pill organizers with 14 different medications. It looks like watching travel shows on TV because you can't walk more than 100 feet without exhaustion. I had all these plans. Linda and I were going to travel the world, Paris, Tokyo, Sydney. We were going to take a cruise through the Mediterranean. Now walking to the mailbox is a victory. Older me didn't get to rest. Older me got to pay for younger me's choices. Lie number three, my body will tell me if something's wrong. Here's the thing about your body. It does tell you, constantly, every day. The problem isn't that your body doesn't send signals. The problem is that you're not listening. Every headache is a signal. Every ache is a signal. Every moment of fatigue is a signal. Every time you feel off but can't explain why, signal. Your body is screaming at you, but we're taught to push through, to be tough, to ignore the warning lights. Imagine driving a car and ignoring every warning light on the dashboard. Check engine, ignore it. Oil pressure, push through. Engine temperature in the red, just keep driving. How long before that car breaks down completely? That's what I did to my body for 50 years. Lie number four, I'm not that bad. I know people who are worse. Oh, this one, this sneaky little lie. I used to compare myself to the worst cases. My friend Dave was 100 pounds overweight. I was only 50 pounds overweight, so I was fine, right? My colleague Bill smoked 2 packs a day. I only smoked in college. So I was fine, right? My uncle had diabetes and never changed his diet. I was at least aware of the problem. So I was fine, right? Wrong. Comparing yourself to sicker people doesn't make you healthy. It just makes you comfortable with your own slow decline. Let me tell you about my friend Dave, the one who was 100 pounds overweight, the one I compared myself to so I could feel better about my own choices. Dave died at 62, heart attack, massive, died on his living room floor. At his funeral, I stood there and thought, thank God that's not me. I didn't think I should learn from this. I didn't think that could be me if I don't change. I thought, I'm not as bad as Dave. I'll be fine. 8 years later, I had my stroke. I'm still here. Dave isn't. But is my survival something to celebrate? I can't walk without a cane. My left hand barely works. I slur my words when I'm tired. I need help with basic tasks. Is that living? Or is it just existing? You want to know what keeps me up at night? It's not the stroke itself. It's not the physical pain. It's not even the disability. It's the specific moments, the choices, the things I can never get back. Let me tell you about them. The hiking trip with my son. When Michael was 16, he asked me to go hiking with him. The Appalachian Trail, just a week, Father and son, I said no, too busy, too important, too many meetings. Next summer, I told him, I promise. Next summer never came, and now I can barely walk to the end of my driveway. Michael is 47 now. He still hikes. He goes with his own son. They've done the Appalachian Trail 3 times without me. I could have been there. I could have those memories. Instead, I have memories of meetings I can't even recall. My daughter's dance recitals. Sarah took ballet for 12 years of recitals, performances, special moments. I made it to 3 recitals in 12 years. I was always traveling, always working, always providing for the family. She stopped asking me to come after she turned 14. Just stopped asking. Do you know what that feels like? When your child stops expecting you to show up. It feels like exactly what you deserve. The annual physical I skipped for 22 years from age 48 to 70, 22 years of not knowing my blood pressure was dangerously high, 22 years of not knowing I was pre-diabetic, 22 years of small strokes happening inside my brain. 1 hour a year. That's all it would have taken. 1 hour. I didn't have 1 hour. I had time for golf with clients. I had time for industry conferences. I had time for networking dinners. But I didn't have 1 hour a year for my own survival. The swimming I stopped doing. I used to swim. In my 20s and early 30s, I swam 3 times a week. Loved it. Felt alive in the water. Then I got busy. Then I got important. The gym membership lapsed. The swimming stopped. The one thing that made my body feel good, I abandoned it. For what? For more hours at a desk, more emails, more spreadsheets. I traded my health for spreadsheets. The sleep I sacrificed. Decades of sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night. Decades of wearing exhaustion like a badge of honor. I'll sleep when I'm dead, I used to joke. Well, I almost got my wish. Now I know the research. Now I know what sleep deprivation does to your brain, to your heart, to every system in your body. Now I know I was slowly killing myself and bragging about it. My wife's worried face. This one hurts the most. For 30 years, Linda asked me to take care of myself, begged me, pleaded with me. And for 30 years, I dismissed her concerns. Stop worrying, I'm fine, you're overreacting. She wasn't overreacting. She was watching the man she loved destroy himself, and I made her feel crazy for caring. I can never get those years back. I can never undismiss her fears. I can never unbreak her heart. All I can do is watch her take care of me now. Watch her do the things I can no longer do for myself. This wasn't the retirement we planned. This wasn't the life she signed up for, and it's my fault. After my stroke, I had a choice. I could feel sorry for myself. I could be bitter. I could spend whatever time I had left drowning in regret. Or I could finally start living differently. I chose differently. It wasn't easy. Nothing about the last 3 years has been easy. But I made changes. Real changes. Changes I should have made decades ago. First, I stopped working completely. I sold my company, walked away from everything I'd built. Not because I wanted to, but because my body gave me no choice. And you know what? The world didn't end. The company survived without me. The clients found other consultants. The industry kept moving. All those years I thought I was irreplaceable, indispensable, essential. I wasn't. Nobody is. Second, I started listening to my body. For the first time in 50 years, I actually pay attention. When I'm tired, I rest. When something hurts, I tell someone. When I feel off, I call the doctor. Revolutionary, right? Basic human self-care. And it took me 7 decades to figure it out. Third, I started being present. I sit on my porch now. Watch the birds, listen to the wind, notice the way the light changes throughout the day. Sounds simple, sounds boring. But for a man who spent 50 years never stopping, never pausing, never just being, It's everything. Fourth, I reconnected with my family. Michael comes over every Sunday now. We don't hike, we can't, but we sit together, we talk, we catch up on 40 years of missed conversations. Sarah calls me twice a week. We're rebuilding something I nearly destroyed. It's not perfect. There's damage that can't be undone, wounds that haven't fully healed, but we're trying. Fifth, I started being honest about my fears, about my regrets, about what really matters. I tell Linda I love her every day, multiple times a day. I tell my kids I'm proud of them. I tell my grandchildren stories about my mistakes, so maybe, just maybe, they won't repeat them. Here's the strange part. I'm happier now, at 73, with a body that barely works, than I was at 43 when I could run a marathon. I'm more at peace now, with limited time left, than I was at 53 when I thought I had forever. I finally learned what matters. I just wish I hadn't needed a stroke to teach me. Now I'm going to talk directly to you. Yes, you. The person reading this right now, I need you to answer a question, and I need you to answer it honestly. How are you treating your body? Not how you think you're treating it, not how you tell yourself you're treating it. How are you actually treating it? When was your last physical? How many hours did you sleep last night? What did you eat yesterday? When was the last time you exercised? When was the last time you just rested? Be honest. Because I know the excuses. I invented most of them. I'm too busy. No, you're not. You're choosing other things over your health. That's not the same as being too busy. I feel fine. So did I, right up until the moment I collapsed in front of 12 people. I'll start next month. You said that last month, and the month before, and the year before that. My job is demanding. So is recovering from a stroke. So is dying at 62 like my friend Dave. Which demands would you rather face? I don't have symptoms. You probably do. You're just ignoring them, just like I did. Let me ask you something else. If you keep living the way you're living right now, if you keep eating the way you're eating, sleeping the way you're sleeping, stressing the way you're stressing, ignoring what you're ignoring, where will you be in 20 years? Not where you hope to be. Where will you actually be? Can you honestly say you're on a path to a healthy, vital, active old age? Or are you on the path I was on, the path that leads to hospital beds and wheelchairs and pill bottles and regret? I know what you're thinking. That won't happen to me. I'm different. I'm younger. I have time to change later. That's exactly what I thought. For 50 years, you are not special. Your body is not magic. The rules apply to you just like they applied to me. Ignore your health long enough, and your health will demand your attention, one way or another. The only question is whether that demand comes as a warning or as a catastrophe. I got a catastrophe. You still have time for a warning. But that window is closing. Every day you wait, it closes a little more. Every skipped workout, every fast food meal, every sleepless night, every ignored symptom, the bill is adding up. And one day you'll have to pay it. Please, don't wait until you're lying in a hospital bed, unable to move, to realize what you've done. Don't wait until your children are dressing you. Don't wait until your spouse is feeding you. Don't wait until traveling the world becomes impossible. Don't wait until every simple pleasure is stolen from you. Don't be me. If I could go back and talk to my 23-year-old self, here's what I would say. Stop. Stop treating your body like it's indestructible. It's not. It's keeping score of every decision you make. Stop skipping sleep like it's a badge of honor. Sleep is when your body repairs itself. Deny it sleep, and it will break down. Stop eating garbage because it's fast and convenient. You're not saving time, you're borrowing it with interest. Stop canceling doctor's appointments. That hour could save your life, literally. Stop ignoring warning signs, that persistent headache, that shortness of breath, that fatigue that won't go away. Those are messages. Read them. Stop saying later. Later doesn't exist. There's only now. Stop comparing yourself to sicker people to feel better about your own choices. Compare yourself to the healthiest version of you. Stop believing you're too busy. You're not too busy. You're making choices. Make different ones. Start moving your body every day. It doesn't matter what. Walk, swim, dance, just move. Start sleeping 7 to 8 hours, not occasionally, every night. Make it non-negotiable. Start eating food that nourishes you, real food, food that was alive once, not processed garbage in colorful packages. Start scheduling annual physicals. Put them in your calendar right now, this minute. Do it. Start listening when your body speaks. It's smarter than you think. Start telling people you love them. Do it today. You might not have tomorrow. Start taking breaks, real breaks, not scrolling on your phone, actual rest. Start prioritizing your health over your career. Your career will forget you the moment you leave. Your body goes with you to the grave. Here's what I want you to do right now. If you haven't had a physical in over a year, schedule one today. Not tomorrow, today. If you've been ignoring a symptom, any symptom, make an appointment today. If you've been sleeping less than 6 hours regularly, go to bed an hour earlier tonight. Tonight. If you can't remember the last time you exercised, take a 20-minute walk today. If you've been surviving on caffeine and fast food, cook one healthy meal this week. 1. These aren't suggestions, these are commands. From someone who learned the hard way, from someone who would give anything to go back and follow this advice, from someone who is begging you not to end up like me. Small changes now prevent catastrophic consequences later. The time to change is not someday. The time is now. I'm 73 now. I've been living with the consequences of my choices for 3 years. 3 years of physical therapy, 3 years of limitations, 3 years of depending on others for basic tasks, and strangely, 3 of the best years of my life. I know that sounds crazy. How can these be my best years when I can barely walk? Because for the first time, I'm actually living, not achieving, not climbing, not proving, living. I watch sunrises now. I never did that before. Too busy, too rushed, always somewhere to be. Now I sit on my porch at dawn and watch the sky change colors. And I feel something I never felt during my 50 years of success, peace. I have real conversations with my wife now, not logistics about schedules and responsibilities, real conversations about our fears, our hopes, our memories. I should have been having these conversations for 40 years, but I was too busy building a company that doesn't even carry my name anymore. I know my grandchildren now, their personalities, their dreams, their silly jokes. I missed my own children's childhoods. I won't miss theirs. Here's the irony that breaks my heart. I spent 50 years sacrificing my health to build a successful future, and that sacrifice destroyed my future. All the wealth I accumulated, most of it goes to medical bills now. All the respect I earned, meaningless in a hospital gown. All the achievements I collected, they don't visit me. They don't help me walk. They don't hold my hand when I'm scared. I traded the wrong things for the wrong things, and I didn't figure it out until it was almost too late. Almost. Because I'm still here, still breathing, still able to share this with you. Maybe that's the point of these last years. Maybe I survived so I could warn others. Maybe my purpose now is to be the cautionary tale I never had. If that's true, if even one person changes because of my story, then maybe the suffering was worth it. You have a choice to make right now, today. You can keep doing what you've been doing, keep pushing, keep ignoring, keep waiting for someday to finally take care of yourself, or you can learn from my mistakes. You can look at me, a 73-year-old man who can barely walk, who can't button his own shirt some days, who will never travel the world with his wife like he planned, and you can decide to choose differently. I can't make you change. Nobody could make me change. Not my wife, not my doctors, not my children. It took a stroke. Don't wait for your stroke. Don't wait for your heart attack. Don't wait for your diagnosis. The warning is right here, right now, in this story. You've been given something I never had, a glimpse of where your path leads. Please take care of your body. It's the only one you'll ever have, and when it's gone, everything else goes with it. Someday is today. It always has been. If this story meant something to you, I hope you'll share it. Not for me, but for everyone in your life who needs to hear it. That friend who never sleeps, that family member who keeps skipping checkups, that colleague who brags about working through illness. Share it with them. Subscribe to this channel because there are more truths to tell, more lessons from people who learned them too late. And leave a comment. Tell me what you're going to do differently. Tell me about your own wake-up call. Tell me I'm not alone in this. I read every single comment. And I'd love to hear your story. Thank you for spending your time with me. Your time is precious. Please don't waste it the way I wasted mine.